Hi there and welcome to Off the Record. I'm with Vikram Sampath, author of this very compelling read. My name is Gauhar Jan, The Life and Times of a Musician. Vikram, let me congratulate you on this feat, though accomplishing feats is becoming a very regular and easy habit with you.
Thanks, Anu. That's very flattering. Well, feat or not, I think it's the grace of God and the blessings of elders that's made me accomplish whatever I have.
No, I use the word feat deliberately because Vikram's first book, Splendors of Royal Mysore, The Untold Story of the Wadiyars, is quite it's such a huge book, and it looks at 600 years of the history of the Mysore royal family. So, and now this one, and you didn't know the three languages. The three languages that Vikram had to deal with were Urdu, Bengali and Hindi.
That's right. Hindi, of course, I know. Yeah.
So, tell us, let's start by talking about the story in a nutshell, because a lot of our audience may not have read the book as yet. He's launching it only today at the Connemara. So, would you like to tell us the story?
Surely. Gauhar Jan was a woman of exceptional talent, beauty and grace. Born in Azamgarh, and someone who moved on to Calcutta and became India's first woman and the first musician to record on the gramophone. Gauhar was a woman of great substance, a very colourful and feisty musician who reigned the world of Indian music as an empress. In her heyday, she commanded extreme, a very flamboyant lifestyle, a national and an international celebrity of sorts, whose photographs appeared on the matchboxes of the times made in Austria and also on the picture postcards of the time. But for someone like this, she had a very tragic fall, several legal tangles and personal upheavals that led to her being paupered. And finally, she took shelter in Mysore, and that is where she died in 1930.
Now, the book actually has two stories that run parallel to each other. The other one is, of course, the invention of the gramophone.
That's right.
Yeah, and how both the stories merge. So, would you like to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. The gramophone company, which was formed in the United Kingdom as a syndicated company, that came to India looking for native voices in the year 1902. And Frederick William Gaisberg was the first recording expert who was sent to India to look for voices whom he thought would make commercial success for the company. And he actually visited several nautch parties and was actually full of disdain for Indian music, which he thought was very crass. But all that changed when he came across Gauhar, whom he was totally besotted with, and her voice had something magical for him, and he chose that she was the first one he wished to record.
Now, Vikram says in the book that when he started working on the book, there were these very propitious signs, very dramatic signs actually, thunder and lightning and all of that. So, tell us about that.
Yeah, in retrospect, when I think of it, I think I was the most unlikely instrument to be chosen to write this book. I was not a Bengali, I didn't know much of Calcutta, its language, customs. I was not a Hindustani musician being trained in Carnatic music, and most importantly, I was not a woman. And to delve into the life and the psyche of someone as colourful as Gauhar, I think it was a drawback in all aspects. So I really thought it is some providence and some sort of a divine intervention which led me to the entire journey. And almost every time, in Mysore, in Calcutta, when I actually unearthed documents related to her life, suddenly a storm would break out, and there were the papers would start ruffling. I don't know what to make of it. I don't want to make it appear like a very spooky story, but then it happened so.
Maybe it was some kind of a divine assurance that you were the right person to tell this story. But you also mentioned that it was while researching for your first book that you stumbled upon Gauhar Jan's name.
That's right.
Yeah? So I can almost see you rubbing your hands in glee, thinking the moment I finish this book, that's going to be my next project. Is that how it happened?
Well, almost, because the Mysore Palace archives are extremely well maintained and catalogued, and there in a box file, there was the entire handwritten letters of Gauhar and her appointment letter, her hospital bills and several other details, which were very beautifully and meticulously archived. The name itself had a ring to it, and somehow it reminded me of Umrao Jan and Rekha, with who was always a childhood fascination. So, and the fact that she was the first woman to record, and that it showed the story of an aging diva who was probably struggling in the last years of her life. That kind of fixated me to her, and after that there was no looking back.
No, that's funny that you talk about Umrao Jan, because that's exactly what I had in mind when I was reading the book. especially the fact that she has many benefactors, men who truly love her and appreciate her art, but then they all end up betraying her. So it's actually a very sad story, but the woman was really brave and feisty and always bounced back no matter what happened. I was wondering if I could, I won't read wholly, but the first chapter is beautifully written. It's the making of a diva and it's set in 1928, and you say that this is fictitious, right?
Yes.
This is when Gauhar Jan comes to Mysore, and she's, you know, in the autumn of her years, and she's quite bitter, and she knows that she no longer has good looks, and age is catching up on her. But it's really beautifully written. All the records fall down while she's moving into the house. Her maid drops the records by mistake. So she gets really upset and she chides the maid, and she picks one up and she plays it. And at the end of every song, she would say in a very flirtatious, shrill manner, "My name is Gauhar Jan," and it's there in the CD. The book comes with a CD. We're going to play it for you when we come back after the break. But I really like the way you've recreated this. This is fictitious, right? This is not based on facts.
There are facts, but the way it's been presented in the form of a story, like details as to how much salary she was getting, or who was the maid or the steward, those are all factual. But then the scene itself was something which I recreated. I thought this was how she might have felt, at least looking at her letters, where she seemed, as you said, a very frustrated woman in the autumn of her life. So yeah, it's based on facts, but set in a fictitious context.
It's very engagingly written. I mean, it's just like a beautiful hook at the very beginning. I'm in conversation with Vikram Sampath, author of My Name is Gauhar Jan, The Life and Times of a Musician, a book that you absolutely must read. We're going to take a short break, but come back and join us. We have lots more to talk about.